Hi students, how are you all? Yes, we are seeing that physical and chemical equilibrium lesson. In the today's topic, solid in liquid. So, in the previous video, we have studied how the physical equilibrium takes place. What is physical equilibrium? What is chemical equilibrium? See, physical change, liquid to solid, solid to gas, or liquid to gas. Like physical change happens means between that physical change is there equilibrium means we can say that is physical equilibrium. Today, some chemical equilibrium. So, whenever we are talking about chemical equilibrium, always we may have like solid in liquid or gas in liquid. We will learn. Okay. Yes. First, we are going to learn solid in liquids. Solid in liquid means what? Very simple. Sugar plus water. If you add sugar in water, you will get sugar solution. Yes, in the sugar solution, okay, what are the things are there? Sugar as well as water, right? So later on we will learn which one is added small amount that sugar that is called a solute. Which one is used to dissolve that one is called a solvent. Okay, right? We got solution. If you continue the addition of sugar, what will happen? After some time or after addition of small amount, certain crystals of sugar will deposit. Yes, again we cannot continuously dissolve. Okay, that solution is called saturated solution. Okay, yes, now we can say there is an equilibrium between that crystallized sugar as well as water. Okay, so when that sugar with water addition forms sugar solution, forward reaction. If you continue this addition of sugar, what will happen? The sugar solution may not be able to dissolve more sugar, so certain crystal will deposit. How it is deposit? When it is dissolving, it undergoing recrystallization. What do you mean recrystallization? Again, the small molecule which dissolves in the water combine or condensed into large size sugar. So again the reverse reaction will take place. Okay, now we can say there is a equilibrium between this sugar and water. Okay, that means we will have the equilibrium between solid crystallized sugar and sugar solution. Okay, this is called solid in liquids. So solid liquid equilibrium. We can have another idea. Okay, rate of forward reaction, or we can say rate of dissolution of sugar. What do you mean dissolution of sugar? Dissolving into the water. Okay, so here forward reaction, how will you write? Rate of dissolution of sugar. That means sugar we are dissolving into water. That speed is equal to rate of crystallization of sugar. So sugar again it is crystallized by combining itself, that is recrystallization. So the reverse reaction we can write the speed of the reverse reaction. What is that? Crystallization. So the rate of formation of crystallization is equal to rate of dissolution of sugar. So forward and reverse reaction becoming equal, then we can say there is equilibrium. So next we are going to learn gas in gas in solution. Yes, it is possible gas we can dissolve in solution. Yes, it is possible. Okay. So we are drinking that beverages, what are the beverages? We are drinking the soft drinks, 7-Up, Coca-Cola, all those having some gases dissolved in solution. Okay, gas dissolved in liquid. Okay. So in the beverages, what happened? We can say the carbon dioxide, okay, which is exist in the equilibrium with solution, right? So in the gaseous form of carbon dioxide is converted into liquid form of carbon dioxide. So now, because of that, they are existing equilibrium. When you opening that, it will overflow, right? Whenever you are shaking that, what will happen? Because of that collision, that gaseous molecule will converted liquid form of carbon dioxide is converted into gaseous form because of shaking. That's why which is overflowing, right? The same way we can say gas in liquid, right? See, gas we are adding, okay, we have to know that condition also. We have to apply pressure because normally we cannot dissolve the gas with the liquid. So if you want to dissolve the gas, definitely you should apply the pressure. Under pressure, you can dissolve the gas in solution, right? Then we may get the liquid form of carbon dioxide which is dissolved in the beverages. Okay, right. Now, this equilibrium between this gas and liquid we can understand by using Henry's law. What is Henry's law? What is Henry's law? This is nothing but rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of reverse reaction. That is only called Henry's law. We will see one by one. At first, we will take A, B gives CD. AB are reactants, CD are products. Okay. Initially, if you take the AB, what will happen? The AB concentration, right? Concentration of AB will decrease. Why? Some amount of AB may converted into CD. So in the beginning, if you see, concentration of AB will decrease, concentration of CD little by little it will increase. At the same time, we can say forward reaction, rate of forward reaction little by little it will increase. How? See, AB, it is combined into CD. That formation of forward reaction will increase. Okay. So rate, speed of forward reaction in the beginning it may high, but after some time what will happen? After forming enough amount of CD, right, then the CD will combine each other again. The product CD combine each other, it will form AB again. So that is reverse reaction. Okay. So rate of forward reaction, how do you write? Rate of forward reaction RF. Rate of reverse reaction RR. Okay, or backward reaction. Somewhere because of confusion RR, we can write backward reaction. Okay. So rate of forward and rate of reverse reaction becoming equal in equilibrium, that is only the Henry's law. Okay, we can understand by using graph. We are going to draw graph between time and rate of reaction, right? So first what will happen? Forward reaction will increase. Okay, so forward reaction rate, first it may high. Okay, for example 1 2 3 4. So forward reaction, rate of forward reaction in the beginning it is high. Okay, so it may reduce, the rate of forward reaction will reduce. After some time it will attain the constant rate, that means constant speed. Okay, in the beginning what will happen? This is for forward reaction. Reverse reaction, what will happen? In the beginning it may very low. Okay, so reverse reaction, because we may not get initially all the product, right? After getting all the product, only we will attain the stable. Okay. So in the beginning, the rate of reverse reaction, backward reaction is very low. Little by little it is increases. Finally, it reaches the same constant rate. Okay. Listen, it may be 2.5. For example, I am saying. Okay. See, in the beginning, forward reaction it started with 4, but reverse reaction, this is backward reaction. Backward reaction rate it started with 1. Which one has highest value? Forward reaction. But later on, if the time increases means what happened? The rate of forward reaction is decreased. At the same time, rate of backward reaction increase. Both collide or both are stopped with certain same rate value 2.5 like that. Okay. So beginning forward reaction rate will increase, beginning reverse backward reaction rate will decrease. One by one it will decrease, forward reaction will decrease, reverse reaction backward reaction will increase. Both will collide or stop the speed, or it will maintain the constant speed in particular point. That is only called equilibrium rate. Equilibrium rate. Okay. The same way we can draw chart for by using concentration. With respect to time. In the beginning, concentration of reactant will be very high. Okay. So reactant concentration may started from the 4. Okay. After some time it will decrease. Why, sir? See, rate of forward reaction beginning high, it is decreases. The same reactant, this is the concentration of reactant. Reactant's concentration in the beginning very high, but it is undergoing the reaction to form product. So little by little concentration of reactant decreased. Finally, it reaches some constant concentration. The same way you go for product. The product also which increase the concentration in the beginning. Okay, but initially it may have 0. Okay, so little by little it is increases. Then it attains a certain constant concentration. Okay, so this is the concentration of a product. So in the beginning, reactant concentration decreases, product concentration increases, but after some time, the particular time, it may be 5. Okay, after 5 minutes both exist in the constant concentration. So there is no change in their reactant concentration as well as in the product concentration. Okay, this point is called this concentration exists in the equilibrium. Okay, right. Then we are going to learn about dynamic equilibrium. What do you mean dynamic equilibrium? See, if you take another one example, A plus B, what will happen? It will form C plus D. Okay, so concentration of AB in the beginning, it may high. Concentration of CD in the beginning, low, right? After reaching some amount of a product, the product again will form or combine into reactant AB. Concentration, it will maintain equal, right? So at this point, why we are saying dynamic? If you change the concentration of reactant, backward reaction will take place. For example, if you decrease A plus B concentration, what will happen? Forward reaction will take place? No, only reverse reaction takes place. Suppose AB, if you decrease means a backward reaction will take place. Then if you decrease the concentration of product CD, what will happen? Forward reaction will take place. So, if depending upon the changes, we can change the direction of that reaction. That's why we are saying equilibrium reaction is an dynamic nature. What is dynamic? If you want any particular direction, we can make it towards the direction by changing the concentration or applying any condition. Okay. Yes. For that, to explain the dynamic nature, they are giving one example. What is that? You just consider there is a big building which having many floors. We are going to consider only first floor and second floor. You just think of first floor is filled with, or in the first floor there are 100 people. Okay, first floor, right? Then in the second floor 50 people are there. How many of them in the second floor? 50. Okay. Now what happened? 5 of them from the second floor coming down to the first floor. How many of them coming from second floor to first floor? 5 through the upstairs, right? At the same time, 5 of them going from first floor to second floor through elevator. Okay, like a elevator, right? So just listen. After the 5 may reach the first floor, the 5 may reach the second floor. What will be the number of people in the first floor? Say 100. How many number of people in that second floor? Same 50. So even though there are some changes, but if you see, there is no change in their numbers. Okay, the same way the reactant product may continuously doing their concentration change, but after attaining equilibrium, if you see the concentration change of reactant product, we cannot have the difference. Okay, they will maintain the same concentration, but scientists telling, even though if you see concentrations are constant, but they are small microscopic concentration changes also takes place continuously, both forward reaction as well as backward reaction. Okay. Yes, for that we can have one example. I2 plus H2, 2Hi. The 2Hi again will dissociated into iodine and hydrogen gas. Okay. Now very important topic we are going to see: heterogeneous equilibrium, homogeneous. First we will see homo. What do you mean homogeneous equilibrium? See, homo means just no same. Homo means same. Okay. See, reactants as well as products in the same physical state, we can say they are homogeneous equilibrium. In a equilibrium reaction, reactant present in the gaseous state, product also in the gaseous state, we can say that is homogeneous equilibrium, right? Shall we see the example? The same example: hydrogen gas react with the iodine gas, gives the gas of hydriodide. See, all are in the gaseous state. Then we will say this is example for homogeneous equilibrium, right? We can write some other examples also. Methyl acetate, it is an ester, right? On hydrolysis, H2O, all are liquid, or I can say aqueous. Aqueous means which is dissolved in water. Water also aqueous, you know, right? Yes. After that, it will form acetic acid with methyl alcohol. All are aqueous condition. See, all the reactant product in the same physical state. This is also example for homogeneous equilibrium. Next we are going to learn about heterogeneous. What do you mean hetero? Different. What is the different in the heterogeneous? Reactants and products present in the different phase. Different phase means physical state. Okay. So solid reactant but it forming liquid product or gaseous product. That is called heterogeneous equilibrium. For that also we will see the example. First example, water on evaporation. If you heat the water, what will happen? Liquid water. If you heat, what will happen? It will becoming vapor. Okay. The same already we have seen in the physical equilibrium. Ice cube. If you melt liquid, so they are also equilibrium. So physical state different means reactant product. We can say that is heterogeneous equilibrium. One more example, if you want, calcium carbonate. It is in solid state. If you heat calcium oxide solid, then carbon dioxide gaseous state. Different physical state between the reactant products means we can say heterogeneous equilibrium. And then law of mass action. Law of mass action means what? So the mass of the reactor is decreased, no. At the same time, mass of the product increased. But equilibrium, they are existing same mass. So we want to write one mathematical relation for that. That's why we need law of mass action. See, what is law of mass action? The rate, or we can say the rate of chemical reaction, any reaction, okay, only depends upon the concentration of reactants. This very simple. Rate of reaction is directly proportional with the product of. It may have 2 or 3 reactants, so multiplication of, not product means we are yield, okay, not yield. Here the product, because many of the students will get confusion. Sir, product means product also comes. No, here the product indicates the multiplication. So product of concentration of reactants. Okay, so what is law of mass action? In any chemical equilibrium reaction, rate of the reaction is directly proportional with product of concentration of reactant in that reaction. Okay, right. What is this square bracket? Indicates concentration. What is this X? Stoichiometric coefficient. Okay, it may have some coefficient value, the reactant. That value, for example, X amount of A is taken, that X is comes in the power, right? Here they are saying the active masses, because we may take any excess amount of reactant, but which one is undergoing the reaction, that is only called the active masses of reactant. So what is active masses? Active mass of the reactor is equal to number of moles per liter. That means number of moles. N indicates number of mole, V indicates volume. So what is the unit? Mole per liter inverse, or mole per decimeter minus 3. Okay. So active masses, by using this we can find the rate of reaction. Right. Now we are going to see the constant for this reaction. Okay, so always if you see any equilibrium reaction, we may have some constant value. Okay, so if you know the constant value, we can apply in mathematical questions, right? So equilibrium constants. So K, C, Kp. These are the two equilibrium constants. Okay, right. We will take on equation. What equation is taken in the book? X A, X amount of capital A, Y amount of capital B, which is having the equilibrium with L amount of C, M amount of D. Am I right? Okay. So A, B are the reactants, C, D are the products. A, X, Y are the coefficients of the reactant, L, M are the coefficients of the products. Okay. Then according to law of mass action, how do you write? Rate of the reaction. This is a forward reaction. So constant Kf. Rate of reverse reaction, reverse constant, or rate only we want to write Rf or V. Rate of backward reaction. Right. Forward reaction rate, how do you write? Rate of the reaction directly proportional to the concentration of reactants. Okay. So what are the constant? X, A, B. Okay. So rate of forward reaction RF is directly proportional with what is that? Concentration of A with X. Y coefficient you want to write in the right upper limit. Y. For backward reaction rate directly proportional with the, if you see the backward reaction, this is reactant. Okay. So concentration of reactants only determines the rate. So C with L, D with M. Okay. Now, as per the law of mass action and Henry law, rate of forward reaction and reverse reaction becoming equal. So equation 1, 2, 3. So equation 2 and 3 are equal. Then how you equal? RB is equal to, okay, before that we will do one small change. What is that? The equation 2, if you remove any proportional, if you make it K, sorry, equal, we can write Kc for forward reaction. Okay. Kf. If you remove the proportionality, if you remove Kb, right? Now we can equal second and third equation. So Rf is equal to Rb. So Rf value Kf, cancellation of A with X, cancellation of B with Y is equal to Kb, cancellation of C with L, cancellation of D with M. Now we can bring this Kf by Kb. We can modify this. How do you modify? Kf this side. You bring this Kb this side means it becoming denominator. Then these terms you can take it to the opposite to the equal side. So in the numerator Cl Dm divided by, it will come in the denominator X Y. Okay. Now for this Kf and by Kb, you can write new constant, that is nothing but Kc, right? So the place of Kf by Kb, you can write Kc. Kc is equal to what? Cl D power M divided by A power X B power Y. We got finally Kc, one of the equilibrium constant. Okay. How do you find the another equilibrium constant? That is also very easy. The condition you must know, up to Kc we found for solution. All the reactant product in the solution or liquid state means we can apply this, right? Kc value. But if you have the reactant product in the gaseous state, How will you write? Here we want to apply partial pressure. Because you will use the pressure, that pressure may partially affect all the concentration of reactant product. Okay, right. So Kb is equal to partial pressure of C with L into partial pressure of D with M divided by partial pressure of A with X, partial pressure of B with Y. Just you can copy from the Kc. We have to apply, remove the concentration, we have to apply pressure term. Okay, now we got the Kp. So these are the two constant for equilibrium reaction. Now the next question, relation between Kp Kc, that we will see in the next video. Thank you.